ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Today we will cover a few Agni Suktas from sage Vamadeva. Suktam 8 in Gayatri Chandas we will take up first. Dudam O Vishwavedasam, O soul of Agni, we shall propitiate you by this Vedic hymn. You who is knower of all things, is bearer of oblations, is imperishable, is the best sacrificer, and is the messenger of self. This is a simple and easily understandable ruk, whether Agni is taken as gross energy or its personified form. Adjectives qualifying Agni are well known, needing no explanation. We will go to 4.8.2. Sahi Veda Vasudhitam Maham. O sacrificers, know that he alone is the great upholder of various articles and controller of light. He brings all enlightened souls to us here. Agni emits light, destroying darkness which may be caused by the clouds in the sky or by the night or by ignorance. Enlightened men are always attracted by Agni, gross or spiritual. Next Suktam is 4.8.3. Saveda Deva Anamam Devang. That resplendent one knows enlightened men who are worthy to be honored. He gives many desirable things to a person of self-control and who follows Rita. Agni leads men of self-control who follow the righteous path to knowledge and prosperity. 4.8.4. Sahota Sedu Dutyam. Spiritual Agni is acceptor of oblations, who knows his duties as a messenger of the self. That wise one only moves as a controller of light in the space and on the earth. Adhyatmik Agni moves in the space and on earth as a manifested form of matter caused by ignorance of the self. His purpose is to provide energy for all activities going on in the universe. 4.8.5. Tesyama ye Agnaye. They who give gifts of various kinds for Agni, thereby strengthening him and making him blaze well, they enjoy happiness. Whoever makes use of Agni, gross or spiritual, properly, they will enjoy corresponding happiness, physical, mental or spiritual. 4.8.6. Te Raya Te Suvidyaye. Along with other heroes, whoever serve and uphold Agni, distributing wealth, they become famous. This needs no explanation. 4.8.7. Asme Rayo Dive Dive. May good riches cherished by many come to us daily. May food materials and other kinds of prosperity flow or come towards us. Riches could be materialistic or spiritual. Das struck in the Sukta 4.8.8. Saviprasht Charshaninam, that genius or Agni Atma with his strength destroys the miseries of men of all races who are active as though immediately. Here, most appropriately, Agni, the soul of energy, is implied. Next, we go to Suktam 9, which is an Agni Suktam from Rishi Vamadeva Gautama, Chandas Gayatri. This is again another comparatively simple Suktam. Agni Mrulamaha Asi Ya Ima. O soul of Agni, you approach renowned scholars seated in the place of sacrifice, desiring to acquire shining virtues, since you are great. Please make us happy. Here, sacrifice implies knowledge sacrifice, and sage Vamadeva belongs to the category of renowned scholars. This should make the meaning of the clear. 4.9.2. Sa manushishu dulabho vikshu, who is inviolable, excellent mover or protector among human subjects and is immortal. That spiritual Agni becomes the messenger of all manifested objects. All pervading character of Agni is being indicated by this rak. Sasatma pariniyate hota 4.9.3. Adhi Devik Agni is being led to his appropriate seat in a non-violent sacrifice, knowledge sacrifice, let us say. Delighting himself by the hymns, he is established as a sacrificer and about to take us across miseries. Listening to the praises of the seer of the Sukta, Agni is delighted to become the sacrificer or object of meditation. Soul of Agni or spiritual energy guides people to cross over miseries. Udagna Agnir Adhvara 4.9.4. Also, spiritual Agni, well established in the right use of speeches in a knowledge sacrifice, knowing the meaning of the Vedas, becomes the master of the sacrifice in his home. Here Agni could be sacrificial fire or spiritual, because he is said to be master of the sacrifice as well as knower of the Vedas. All speeches of Vedas are encompassed by Om, the manifested and unmanifested Brahman. Agni is an inspirer of speeches. 4.9.5. Veshi Yadhariyatam. O Adhyatmik Agni, you are the impeller of persons who desire to have non-violent sacrifices and other common men. You also pervade or know all sacrificial oblations. Spiritual Agni impel all human beings to act according to their nature, which is characterized by their I feeling or aham bhava. The self pervades all manifested objects along with spiritual Agni. Veshidvasya Dutyam. O Devika Agni, you accept to carry the sacrificial oblation of a mortal man, knowing that you act as his ambassador. This overall meaning is clear enough. 4.9.7 Asmakam Joshadharam. O dear like Prana, Agni, you please accept our non-violent sacrifice as well as offerings of food and praises. Please listen to our hymns. Agni energy and pranas move together along with the self from one living form to another. Hence both are equally dear to human beings. With this explanation, meaning of the Rig should become clear enough. 4.9.8 last Rig in the Sukta. Parite Dulabho Rathos Asma, O spiritual Agni, by which inviolable chariot you protect givers of knowledge in all directions, may that be around us, always at our disposal. May Agni, gross or spiritual, protect the knowledge sacrificers all the time. This is the wish of sage Vamadeva in this concluding book of the Sutta. We go to next Suktam 10. Rishi, same Vamadeva, Gautama, Devata Agni, Chandas, Padapankti, Ushnik Va, Maha Padapankti, Ushnik. 4.10.1 Agni Tamatyashvam Na. O soul of Agni, today we shall make you prosperous by actions full of humility and by praises. He is like a horse. He is like a good intellect, is wonderful and is touching the heart. Like a horse is indicative of quick movement of Agni. Good intellect implies that Agni stands for the soul of energy. Touching the heart could mean Agni is giving energy for the beating of the human heart. Sage Vamadeva will be talking about Agni in this Sukta. This is the gist of the Ruk. 4.10.2 Adhahyagne Krator Bhadrasya. O spiritual Agni, now itself you are the guardian of beneficent intellect, guardian of strength, of good men, of the great Ruta, and of the performers of the sacrifice. So, may you be our ruler. Agni is the force behind all kinds of activities of human beings. Evirno arkaira bhava, no arvang. O noble-minded Agni, you please come before us along with your army of flames, which is like the splendor of the sun. You are to be praised by us by these auspicious hymns. Overall meaning given above is self-explanatory. Abhishte Adya Girbhi. O shining Agni, we offer oblations to you, praising you with our speeches. Your powerful light rays thunder like the lightning in the atmosphere. Agni is being talked about in this sutta. No further explanation may be necessary in this on this rug. 4.10.5 Tava Swadishthāgne Samdrishtirida. O Agni, your sweet and shining look glitters near us during the day like the sun, and also during the night for our prosperity. Agni shines during day and night, while the sun shines during the day only. Ghritam na pūtam tanurareva Ghritam na pūtam tanurareva. O possessor of abundant food materials like the refined ghee, your body is pure and sinless. Your gleaming golden body shines like the sun in the sky. Ghee, being refined butter, is considered to be pure. Similarly, fire is said to be pure and also is a purifier. Kritam Chithi Shma Sanemi 4.10.7. O enforcer of Hrita Agni, you are capable of removing malice and sins from a mortal who is a performer of sacrifice, though they are existing for a long time. Purifying capability of Agni in the spiritual sense is being referred to here, as it is overall meaning of the ruk should be clear enough. Last ruk of the sutta is 4.10.8. Shiva na Sakhya Santu. O soul of Agni, may our friendship and brotherliness be auspicious to you, all among enlightened beings. That is our abode in this whole prosperous world. Prosperity of human beings depends upon friendship and brotherliness of enlightened souls, because they only guide the people along the righteous path properly. We go to Suktam 11. Again it is an Agni Suktam from sage Vamadeva in Trishtup Chanda. Bhadranthe Agne Sahasen 4.11.1. O very powerful Agni, your beautiful army of flames is shining near the rays of the sun. Your shining splendor is visible in the night too. It is seen in a milder form in food-producing plants. Basically, sage Vamadeva is stating the fact that energy in Agni, in the sun, and in food-producing plants is essentially the same, though they may be appearing in different forms. We Shahyagne Grinate Manisham 4.11.2. O Agni, you are powerful by nature and praised by all. May you please open the door to the Supreme Spirit for the sacrificer who glorifies you with Vedic hymns accompanied by appropriate actions. O resplendent sublime Agni, whatever wealth that you give to all enlightened souls, please give us all that great knowledge. This is a prayer addressed to the soul of energy, spiritual Agni, to reveal self-knowledge to the seer of the Sukta, who is performing this knowledge sacrifice. This is the wealth Agni gives to enlightened souls as stated in the overall meaning of the Ruk. 4.11.3 Todakne Kavya. O Agni, from you all poetic works are born, also right knowledge, admirable and worthwhile acts and hymns. From you only wealth flows out to a liberal mortal sacrificer whose mind moves along the righteous path and whose appearance is like that of heroes. Here, every work is said to be activated by Agni, the soul of energy, messenger of self. In another sense, Agni or gross energy is behind all activities associated with all things mentioned in the Rig. For example, energy is involved in the birth of poetic works, in gaining knowledge, and so on. 4.11.4 Tvat Vaji Vajambharo Vihaya. O shining Agni, you are quick moving, a carrier of much weight. You make us move soon and are procurer of help. True strength comes from you. The wealth which is known and applied by enlightened souls and which is a source of great happiness is manifested from you. It acts like a swift horse because of you. Here again, gross form of Agni is said to be associated with all movements and activities. This is a well-known law in physics. Agni, the soul of energy, helps learned men to acquire self-knowledge. Tvamagne prathamam devayanto. 4.11.5 O immortal Agni Atma, desiring to acquire shining virtues, mortal men with good intellect and noble actions serve you. Who is foremost, is self-luminous, is sweet-tongued, is free from malice, is self-controlled, is master of the house, and is sharp-sighted. Overall meaning of this Rig should be perfectly clear. 4.11.6 Are asmadama amatimare. Are asmadamatimare amha. O son of might Agni, you are auspicious. You illuminate the night. You protect him who seeks his prosperity from you. Please drive away from us ignorance, all sins and all evil thoughts. The Rig requires no additional clarification. This is the end of Suktam 11, and now we go to Suktam 12, which is also on Agni from sage Vamadeva in Trishtup Chanda. Yastvamagna inadhate Yastvamagna inadhate. O knower of all born beings, Agni, whoever with raised ladle invokes you, offering oblations of food 3 times a day on all days, May he speak out your noble deeds. Endowed with knowledge, may he be approached by all kinds of wealth. The person referred to here may as well be seer of the sutta himself, which means, may I speak about Agni and his noble deeds in this sutta and acquire much wealth. 12.2 Idham yaste jabharas O shining Agni, whoever nourishes your great and glorious army of flames by collecting fuel and laboring diligently, which serve to shine the fire Agni at dawn and at night, he destroys his enemies and acquires riches by fair means. What can get by invoking Agni is being stated here. Agni could be spiritual, in which case the word enemies is to be taken as those within one's own mind. With this clarification, meaning of the Rig should become clearer. Agnirishe Brihata Kshatriyasya. Grass Agni is the master of the great physical might. Spiritual Agni is the master of wealth and also of supreme knowledge. Hence, he is young and energetic, endowed with abundant food materials. He gives to a mortal invoker the best jewel uninterruptedly. Here in this Rig, Agni could be physical and spiritual, as can be made out from the wordings of the Rig. Best jewel stands for self-knowledge. Yachithi te Purushatra. O youthful, energetic Agni, whatever offense we may have committed against man, attendance, etc., and also other sins without our knowledge, please make us free from all sins on the face of the earth and minimize all types of faults. This Rig is simple enough for understanding. 4.12.5 Mahachidanga Mahachidagna Enaso Abhiga. Mahachidagna Enaso Abhiga. 4.12.5 O Agni Atma, may you destroy all sins, however great they may be, whether committed against enlightened souls or common men. May they be our neighbor and vice. Being your friends, may we not come to any harm at any place. Please bestow happiness on our sons and grandsons. No comments. 4.12.6 Yatha Ha Chet Vasavo Gaudyam. As worship-worthy enlightened souls living in the true attainable knowledge with reference to Vedic words, their meanings and purposes. Let loose pure speech. O Agni, please help us to free ourselves from all sins and also to prolong our life. It means the following. Sages like Vamadeva praise Agni through Vedic hymns. May Agni wipe out all their sins which might have been committed before unknowingly. This is the end of Suktam 12. Now we go to Suktam 13, which is the last Suktam for the day. Sage Vamadeva is a Rishi, Devata Agni, and others as mentioned in the different riks. Chandas Trushtu. This is rather an interesting sutta because Devata is said to be Agni, though this word appears in the first rik only. Outwardly, all riks talk about different entities. From this, one may infer that the seer of the sutta is to talk about the soul of energy, messenger of the self. 4.13.1 Pratyagnir Ushasam. Benevolent Agni appears in front of or before Ushas or dawns. He is the resplendent distributor of wealth. O Ashwins, please come to the house of the performer of noble deeds. The shining sun is rising up with his brilliant light. Before dawn, Agni is kindled for this knowledge sacrifice. The sun is rising up, driving away darkness of night. Ashwins could be Jivatma Paramatma combination. Possibly, the sage may be asking them to be the witnesses of this knowledge sacrifice. 4.13.2 Urdhvam Bhanum Savita Devo. The resplendent soul of the sun, Savita, appears as pure radiance in the space high above. When the sun ascends in the space, he, Savita, shakes the earth and diffuses his rays as desired by the soul of Agni. Varuna and Mitra as vassals obey the commands of that soul Savita. Sun is one form of energy of Agni, energy or Agni. The soul of the sun, Savita, is mentioned here. She is the same as that of Agni. Energy manifests in the space because of Savita. Subtle forms such as Mitra and Varuna also get their energy from Savita, who is the symbol of sacrifice. Next we go to 4.13.3. Yam Sim Akrunvan Tamase. The manifested self or moving witnessing self, Atmiya Soma, desirous of having abiding and sure welfare of living creatures, for dispelling darkness of the whole world, never wavering from duty, created the sun. He is the possessor of 7 kinds of rays and is controller of the world. The rays of light support the solar world. Manifestation of the sun is dealt with in this rik. For removing darkness of the night, the self or Soma or Savita causes Agni to manifest as light of the sun. In fact, energy needs of all objects under the sun are made by the sun only, are met by the sun only. Vahishthevir Viharanyasi Vasisthevir Viharanyasi 4.13.4. O resplendent one, like the sun going about dispelling darkness with his rays which carry physical energy, you keep apart the cause and effect, shaking of ignorance prevailing in the atmosphere which is like a skin covering a body. You please be seated in your abode. The sun with his light dispels physical darkness. The self or spiritual soma with rays of spiritual light removes ignorance by discriminating between the effect and the cause. May the manifested self reside in his secret abode within the heart space, covering the layer of ignorance, I feeling, covering this ignorance, covering the self, which is like a skin covering the body. This is the implied meaning of the last of the Sukta 4.13.5. Anayato Anibaddha Kathayam. Soul of the sun Savita, not moving anywhere, is not bound by anybody or to anything. When looking down, how he is not going down? When looking up, by what force he is made to move about? That is like a pillar of light in the space and a symbol of truth. Who has seen that one? Who protects the universe? The sun manifests because of the manifested, moving, witnessing self, and obeys Rita, which is again caused by him. That the sun is only one of the millions of objects in the universe. All of them get their existence from the self. None can see the self, since it is non-matter or matterlessness residing in the hearts of living creatures. It can be felt only, and that too through the mind's eye or inward turned eye. Here we stop for the day. Viramastavat.